Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi fam, how are you? Hope you're doing good. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Vlogmas. So guys, I guess you can tell by the title of this video what you're going to discuss. Yeah, so there's not a vlog, there's a sit down video. So guys, as you all know, I'm a first time mom, and I just want to talk about the challenges that I have encountered. I can say the challenges and but mostly challenges that I have encountered as a first time mom. So for background sake, for other people that are new to this channel, I'm a mom. Yeah, I'm a first time mom. So I had my baby via C-section because my baby was breech from the very first initial ultrasound. It indicated that my baby was in breech position, and I was told that he was gonna turn until the fifth ultrasound, until the fourth and the fifth ultrasound, which all proved the same thing, that the baby was breech. So I had to go for a C-section. I had my C-section at 40 weeks. Yes, but the doctor said I should have had my C-section at 38. But you know guys, I didn't give birth to my baby at a private hospital. I did give birth to my child at a government hospital. I gave birth to my baby at Perinyatwa. They call it Mbuyane Maternity Hospital. That's where I gave birth. So after all of that, the first challenge so I can safely say that the first challenge was my baby being a breech baby from the beginning till the end of my pregnancy. Although I never had challenges during the pregnancy, like my pregnancy was a smooth one. I never had complications. I never got sick. Just only that I had what they call pregnancy flu, pregnancy insomnia. But besides that, I guess not everyone not everyone experienced that. But those are just some of the effects of pregnancy. So, moving on forward, the second challenge that I faced as a mother, as a first time mom, was not having enough help when I gave birth. I had help. The help that I had was my mother. My mother was there for me, and God bless her. Like, she would do everything. She would wake up in the morning, feed me, bath the baby, make sure that I have enough breast milk to feed the baby. So I'm just grateful for my mom for that. And yeah, so as time went on, and so I gave birth, and then 2 weeks after, I actually I actually felt the need of having help at home, meaning a helper. So we had to look for a helper, and thank God that we found one, and that actually decreased the load on my mom's side with like laundry, cooking, cleaning, and all of that. So that was the second challenge that I faced as a first time mom. Other challenge that I faced as a first time boy mom, was colic. Guys, I don't want to lie to you. Colic is something else. A lot of people, they say that for boys, obviously girls and boys, they do have colic, but For boys, I think it's more intense, if you get what I'm talking about. So with my child, it was a lot. It was a lot because during the day he would sleep during the day, but at night you would wake up at exactly 8 p.m. From 8 p.m. up until 12 p.m. you will be crying non-stop. You'll be crying non-stop, like because at home we stay with my maternal grandmother, my mother's mother. Guys, it came to a point whereby people would actually pray, thinking that they as an African person, I guess kuti we just assume kuti if mwana kanyanyochema, which means maybe pane mweya yetsvina or pane mhepo and stuff, but it was all colic. You would cry non-stop. You would cry to the extent that so my maternal grandmother, she is blind, medically blind. She has glaucoma. So she would even, to a point whereby she would be like, okay, can you put him on my back so that I can carry him on my back? Because he wouldn't stop crying. If everyone would take turns to carry him, put him on the back, pet him, you would even try to breastfeed him, but it wouldn't work. So I guess people that just tell me, don't worry, my sisters, my sisters, my mamrora, they would always tell me, even my mother-in-law would always tell me, it will get better with time. As you grow up, you get better. So I can safely say for the best part of my maternity leave, that child was giving us headache. He was just something else. So we even tried, guys, colic drops. Like I tried colic drops, I tried gripe water, but it wouldn't change anything. With gripe water, and you'd maybe just for maybe a few hours or maybe an hour, you'll be okay. But the next minute, baby boy is crying. There was even a point in time where I would even cry. Guys, imagine the baby is 2 weeks old and my C-section wound, I sat here and this baby is crying non-stop. Sometimes I would even cry with the baby. Even the father would even cry sometimes. But yeah, man, it was something else. So I don't know, guys, maybe let's discuss this in the comment section and tell me, guys, how did you deal with either your first time mom or a second time mom? Like for the boy moms, how did you deal with colic? Even the girl moms, how did you handle? How did you go about this colic issue? So the second struggle that I had as a first time mom, guys, was leaving my baby as I go to work. Guys, I remember like the first day at work, my mother even told me that don't even call. Even my grandma was like, don't even call because ukafona ukangoramba uchingofona uchingobvunza kuti ari sei mwana anozoswera achichema anenge achinetsa chinyi. So leaving my baby behind the first day at work was overwhelming, but yeah, I got through it. And guys, the other thing was before even maternity leave, guys, so because I knew that I had to go back to work, So baby had to be on formula. So I think when he was after 6 weeks, that's when we introduced formula to him. So I started with naan. I bought naan one, and he drank for a month, and it was good. Yeah, everything was okay. After that month, but I started. No, we started formula when he was, I think, 3 weeks before. Yeah, 3 weeks old. That's when we introduced formula, and then he drank for a month up until 7 weeks. Guys, tell me, up I had bought two, like the two was it two? Yes, I had 2 bottles of naan. This baby refused. Akatoramba naan. He would refuse to drink it. And then I had to stop giving him formula. And then I got advice from my cousin of mine. She said maybe I should try S26, which is Alula Gold. I tried, guys. Upper, you know that S26 is the pricier one here in Zimbabwe. And guys, this child, akairamba. And so a good friend of mine bought me a breast pump, an electric breast pump. So I tried. So when I was going back to work now, I was pumping. I started pumping breast milk. But you know, guys, the situation in Zimbabwe, pumping and what do you call it, load shedding. Load shedding is something else, because you know, like when you pump, you have to either put it in the freezer or maybe in the fridge, so that like my temperatures are not ari or chi. So it was hard for me to pump in bulk due to load shedding, because you would pump, put in the deep freezer, then there's no electricity for a day or two, and then not all shatter. So I would pump, like the milk that he has to drink the next day, I would pump it the previous day. So guys, that was also another challenge, pumping. I would have to make sure that when I get home from work, the moment that I get home from work, I don't have to breastfeed him first. I have to pump first, so that he can, and then you breastfeed later. Because Pandai is a shake and shitty, I breastfeed him first and then pump. I wouldn't sleep because I would pump. So the schedule was like, I get home, they paid the bus at 3, and then I would get home around past 4 to 5. So I pump, and then maybe after pumping I breastfeed him, and then I eat my supper. Before I sleep, I pump as well, and then maybe in the middle of the night when he wakes up around 2, I pump again, and then in the morning 5 o'clock before I go to bath, I pump, so that I know that he has milk that can last him like the rest of the day. But during the first days, he couldn't even drink like that. Mukaka wachwanda pampa urimu the titi. I ramba, guys, you know. My mother had to kumupa mukaka wa in a spoon urimu urimu cup, and he would cry. Unazati ndaibva kubasa, so in my neighbors would be like, mwana wako ari kugocheba, mwana wako adocheba. I remember this other day ndotobva kubasa, and then our neighbor was like, mwana manya zvenyu kumba, mwana wenyu ari kucheba. Guys, ndakatomsvikira achicheba. So you know, those are some of the challenges that I faced. But I think as he was now growing, it was in August, and then someone also advised kuti kana akaramba kambotra here lactogen. I was like, no, I've never tried lactogen, because I thought kuti maybe it's a waste of time yekuti ndirambe ndichimupa 9 is 26 chichiyachizviramba zvikanzi sometimes vana vazhinji vari kuramba 9 is 26 you might vari kuramba iyoyo vari kubvuma lactogen. So I bought one that 400 grams lactogen, and to my surprise this child akanwa lactogen, guys. And I was like, the moment that I saw akunwa lactogen, I stopped pumping, because guys, pumping is a lot of work. So my advice may be to other first-time moms, or maybe to if you are maybe in a position whereby maybe you can afford a solar system, maternity leave usati wakuenda kubasa, pump and muchistore zvenyu mudeep freezer panotori nezvimapacks zvinototengeswa zvekustowa your pumped milk uchiisa mudeep freezer uchidata mukaka, so that you know kuti by the time uchazotanga kuenda kubasa hazvikupe pressure stereki yekuti upampe mukaka. You just know kuti you have, I can say, a breast milk bank in your deep freezer yekungotiwo mwana, you know, but even during the day your baby ane mukaka, manheru ane mukaka, or even kuto introduce a formula like the very day, if it's possible for you, if you can afford to introduce a formula yacho the very first mwana musi wanotongobuda mudumbu. For others vanoda kuita zvese breast milk and what do you call it, formula, both breast milk and formula feeding, start at an early stage. Kagara katojaira kutoti panapa panombonwiwa bhodhoro tinomboita breastfeeding. So that was the other challenge, yekuti mwana akaramba formula, and airamba even mukaka wacho watapamba aitoramba aitochema. And then the other thing was, I know it's not advised, it's not advisable to give solids to kids. You know what I'm talking about. But I had to introduce because I felt like, because he is refusing to drink pumped milk, mutiti hazonyatsoguti. So in order for him to at least kuti agute, we had to improvise. And I think that worked better for us. Yeah, it was for the better for us, because we could see kuti zviri kutoita zvichiita, nyangwe even dzimwe nguva when I get home anenge akatoguta, you know, tozotange kuyamwisana maybe pakati peusiku. So it was for the better. And another challenge that it's not a challenge, but I guess it's every I say challenge per se, guys, but I think every mother unenge uine sort of, we cannot, here's my expectations, kuti when your baby reaches this stage, they should reach these milestones and whatnot. So for my baby, inini akanonoka kugara. You know, mwana anonoka kutogara at 4-5 months, mwana kutogara ega chichi, but my baby akatozonyatsotanga kunyatsogona kugara ega at 6 months. Ndopanga kuzonyi aigara zvake, ukamugarisa mudish, ukamuisira machira chichi, aigara even pasofa aigara, but kunyatsova stable akazonyatsotanga at 6 months. Even kutanga kukambaira, kaka nenhungu dzekukambaira, akazonyatsotanga kukambaira at 8-9 months. Ndopakazotanga kunyatsokambaira, but kufamba hake haana kuzoita sei, haana kuzononoka kufamba. Even kubuda mazino haana kunonoka kuita sei, kubuda mazino. And also the other thing was ever since hey guys, okay, before Taita ever since, okay, I want to talk about, it's not a challenge food, but it's that 6 weeks injection. Yeah, guys? Tell me about it. Because I felt like mambo madambuya vari kuchipatara uko, my nurses and doctors, I think ruoko rwavo pakubaya vana, it's something else. Because I remember when we went for our 6 weeks immunization, since I gave birth via C-section, I had to go back to the hospital where I gave birth for that 6 months checkup, 6 weeks, because that checkup is also for me and for the baby. For me, they'll be checking if my wound has healed, and for the baby, it's just those routine checkups. So for me, my wound, yes, was healing, and we're progressing, and the baby. But tell me, guys, why does mwana kuzvimba gumbo? Why does mwana have kuzvimba gumbo for like 2 days? Gumbo asingade kana kubatwa gumbo iri, asingade and I felt like munhu akamubaya ane mazvimbiswa because gumbo ranga rakazvimba. And that very day that my baby vakabayiwa 6 weeks, that was the first time yekuti mai vangu vakandisiya ndega nemwana, guys. Tell me about it. Though we had, I think, we had help. I had a helper by then, but still, I wasn't. Ever since he was born, my mother had never been away from us. So, and imagine kuti mwana abewa injection, and kuti vana kana vabewa my injections, they are so restless. That day, I was going through it. I thought I was not gonna sleep well, but I just thank God that we managed to sleep well. Nakana kumbonetsa that night, even tichitoenda the following day, nakana kutombonetsa. And saka the challenge I'm gonna pakuti amana andizive kuti is it the injection or munhu anenge atoriwo hake nemaoko akashata pakubaya mwana. And then we move before that. Guys, I didn't write this down. It's just something that is off head. Those are things that I'm just talking off head. And then the other challenge, guys, was when my baby, Pakashika 6 months, 6 months, that's when we started to introduce like solid, like my potatoes, butternuts, tell me, this child akaramba my potatoes. Zvekuti stress each and every time that I go to work, I'm stressed with what I eat. Zvaramba my potatoes. Yes, there is milk, there is porridge, but even my butternuts airamba. So I'll be like, is there saka mwana uyo arida kurarama achidye porridge racho rinokasika kakupera? Because guys, just imagine box kake keserela kezotika 1 kg was for $5. And that was only because since he was eating porridge in the morning, and sometimes you'd eat 3 times, sometimes you'd eat 2 times, depending nekuti angachinwa mukaka zvakaita sei during the day. It would last us a week. So that means kuti for the whole month I need 4 to 5 boxes of Cerelac. And then as time went by, I think when takum 7 months, that's when akudya potatoes, akudya butternut, akudya even sadza, because my potatoes time mesha, even the butternut would mesh. And then I think as time went on, pamoma test buds again do I saw with but as time went by, he started getting used, and he now likes his food. Another challenge, guys, is weaning off. Tell me about it, guys. Oh, not weaning off, guys. Let's just go to the teething stage. before the teething stage, there's something that I wanted to tell you about, guys. Kuti, well, I cannot say that it's a challenge for me, but it's something that I'm grateful for, because since giving birth to baby E, I had never gone to the hospital. Like, kana kumetaita flu, he never got sick. He is that child wekuti, when he was still a baby, he never got sick. So, and then when he finally got sick, I remember that he was now 6 months old. He got sick, and guys, his body, his temperature, I think that night yakatosvika kana kuma 38. His body was hot, guys. I couldn't sleep. I rampa kurara. He was just restless. He had like I can say a sore throat, but it was a sore throat, a dry cough. That was the first time that he got sick, and guys, takavhunduka. Even the father, wakavhunduka, munhu wese akanetsekana, guys, kunze kwakaedza takagara, and we're like, let's take this young man to the clinic. To the clinic, he got an injection, and yeah, so I'm just grateful to God, because I was praying kuti Marini and Dimwana I'm always in and outside of the hospital. So I'm just grateful for that. Kuti he is not someone where kuti we are always in the hospital or whatnot. Or akatoti bakati takutomanya kumsho utatomanya kutotoga mapiriti, no. So kuti even now, because now it's even tricky, guys, pakuti manaka ngokosora wakutomanya kunotenga mshonga mu pharmacy, because now they are no longer medication for infants. There is no medication, like especially my coffee syrup. There are no coffee syrups that can be administered to an infant who is below. Is an infant, I guess, guys, you know what I mean. Mishonga yevanage kosoria kutangira from 2 years and above, because anze vana vafane kunyanyopiwa mishonga sterek, because immune system yawo inozoita weak ere ameno, but I'm not a doctor, so I wouldn't know much in detail about that. So another challenge, guys, was teething. So with teething, this is what happened. His first akabuda mazino 4 kawan, like the upper 2 and the ebamsoro 2 ebazasi 2. Akabuda ese mazino iwayo ka 1. So we never experienced like that teething process. You could mwana anenga totally a running tummy, and anenga fuzzy, anenga restless, mwana anenga chirwadziwa achidi. We never experienced that, but we then experienced teething, the whole teething process. I think pakazotanga kubuda mamwe ese. So guys, as I was saying, that another challenge that we faced was teething. So with teething, like the pakatanga kubuda mazino ake 2, it was okay. Yatina kumbo experience at the runny tummy and all of that. But pakazenge pakubuda mamwe, I think pakabuda the other set of 4 here, ikumsoro ne kuzasi mahombe. Guys tell me kuti pekre mapampa. Like 1 pack type less than a week. Mapampa anengatopera. And munane ngachida kuruma, he was being fussy, he was all over the place, aine running tummy, And okay, one thing about my baby is that he's a jovial baby. He is one of he's always everywhere. is everywhere. Anenge dongo bata achita say. So ukatoona asiri kuita his usual things, there is something wrong. Like even during that time, you're tipping, achita the running tummy, even to throwing up. Still aingoita mabasa ake wayo, he would just be everywhere. Aingotamba anenge achingodi. So that's also something. Pampacho, I even went with him to the hospital because he was just throwing up, and mudumbu make ari kungoita a running stomach, and anga asina kana even temperature. His temperature was not even that high. Anga story nangazi mwito wake ngosuri kutombopisa, but the fact yakangondivhundudza was pese paari kudya he's throwing up, pese paari kudya he's throwing up. And then I ended up going to the hospital. Ndikangonyorerwa mushonga. Later on, I think later on when I came back home, that's when we discovered that no, man, this is teething. This baby is what? Is teething. So yeah, guys, that's also another challenge that I faced as a first time mom. And also another challenge, guys, that I faced as a first time mom is weaning off. Guys, and I think like there should have been a handbook or something that we have to be taught to prepare ourselves mentally and physically for the aftermath of weaning off a child, because so I have a helper issue, guys. I'll do a separate video about my helper. Anyway, okay, I had a helper, and she left. She said that my parents are giving to away, but to my surprise, knowing fully well kuti isusa pana kwatinga wane munhu in that period of time, she could have opted to come back. But it's also another challenge, guys, because imagine as a mom who is a working mom, and weekend, because my helper issue happened over the weekend. It was on a Saturday. That's when the mother called. She called her mother, and the mother told me that mwana rudiwa kopi kumba. So I had no option but to send her home. So imagine, guys, it's a Saturday 7 p.m. and I was just shocked, and I was like, okay, it's fine, you can go Sunday. I let her go on Sunday, and then I had to actually call my mom, go, no, this is what happened. And so mwana ndakuita sei ndakuunza mwana. So but that week, the week that the helper went, my husband was around, so he was the one aisara nemwana indoenda ubasa, and then pandodzokawo I relieve him and stuff. So yeah, man, it's also a challenge, because imagine as a working mom, guys, unenge ukatoplana maybe your week ahead, and then you are just hit with an obstacle in the midst of your planning, So that was also another challenge, and for that I then decided, Kuti, I'm not going to have any help. I'm not going to get another helper at the moment. I think I'll see, maybe next year I'll send my baby to school. He has to go to creche. I'll just see how it goes next year, because right now he's just in between his grandparents. So he was at my mom's house, and then for a month, yeah, he's been at my mom's house for 3.5 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and then right now we took him to his paternal grandparents. So that's where he is, and at home is just me and my husband. So that's another challenge, guys. Challenge my helpers, good, they just but kudos to those working moms. They go to work, they don't have help, they go to work, and still, like, they manage to, like, grasp everything with the home time, like kids, work, and they manage to juggle all of that in between. So, so guys, with the helper issue, I was forced now to wean off my baby, though he was due for weaning him off. He was due because he was already 1 year 6 months. So I then took him to my mom, and guys, tell me why that child for 3 weeks he didn't forget about breast milk. Each and every time that I had to go to my mother's house, he would be putting his hand, say, looking for breast milk. And there was this other time I slept off, and then I found him sucking the breast. That boy is very naughty. So guys, that's another challenge. Your guys being off. Guys being off is something they should tell us to prepare our mind physically and mentally, because guys, for me, I don't know for other people, but for me, the first step was I took him to my mom on a Sunday, and then I left him there. Monday, I went back to my house. I came back to my house, and the first day, Monday, I slept okay. Tuesday, when I came back to work, guys, my boobs were swollen. My boobs were so, like when I had my bra on during the day, the pain was, I think, on a 2. The moment that I get at home and I remove my bra, the pain is at a 6, 7, 8. When I tried to sleep, I couldn't even sleep. I couldn't sleep that day, because if I want to sleep with the other side, still I was feeling so much pain, and the other side, a lot was going on. But I'm just grateful that I managed to wean him off, and it took me approximately 4 days for the swelling to go down. 4 days, and I think for now we are cruising nicely. So that's another challenge, guys. Weaning off a child, guys, it's a challenge to me because it's very painful. Another challenge, guys, as a first-time mom, is not seeing your child regularly. There are times when I miss my baby, guys. I was used to coming home, and he's home, he would play, he would watch cartoons, we would sing, and I just know, okay, my baby is home, my baby is here. And now that he's not around, there are times whereby I miss him so much, and I just want him to be close, but due to unforeseen circumstances at this moment, we cannot be with him at this moment. So guys, I just want to say kudos to those moms that, okay, not kudos per se, but I just want to know, guys, how do you deal with the thought of not having your child all the time? How do you do it? So those mothers go 3-4 months, go, and how do you do it, guys? How do you do it, especially at this young age, 1 year and stuff? How do you guys cope? Because my husband was like, you know what, because in Diagayende someone, he had off, and I didn't. We couldn't manage to go together. So he's the one who took baby to his grandparents. So guys, he was like, I'm thinking of coming back with him. And I'm like, then what? At this moment, we cannot afford to be, okay, not specifically we cannot afford. At this moment, we cannot be with him, because even yangu takada kuti want to enroll him kucrash gore rakutopera, and macrash anoita sepanongovhara zvikoro, the crashes they close. So it's unfortunate that we can't be with him now, but we'll try next year kuona kuti zvazvakamira sei, so that we can be with him full time all the time, so that when we go to work and we come back, he is with us. And yeah, so that's the other challenge. We miss our baby, we just miss him being with us. So because kutopera kwa November, it will be exactly 2 months without him. Yeah, it will be exactly 2 months without like him being in the space, in our space, in our house. Because most of Zimengua, I would go when he was at my mom's house. I would go and see him maybe for a weekend, maybe for a day, or maybe just for a few hours. So that was easy. But now he is far away from us. But we just have to be the big babies. We just have to guys, we just have to be at peace with the situation that we are in right now. Guys, this is the end of the video. I know kuti some of them we cannot say kuti my challenges as the first time, yes, because this is already a year, guys, that I have grown with my baby, and these are some of the things that I have encountered during this journey. Zokuti kwandiri, some of those things my challenges, kwandiri some things, those are blessings, kwandiri some things, those are maybe stepping stones, or they are, especially the helper issue, it was maybe a stepping stone in disguise, I don't know. But some of those things, I think the my lessons are true. In the next phase or the next chapter of me being a mother again, I now know how to handle such situations. I now know that if this happens, I have to do this. Before this, I have to do this, So let's just have a conversation in the comment section. To all my first time moms, and to all mothers, guys, not first time moms only, but all the mothers that have cruised nicely, that have done this motherhood journey before me or before us, in the comment section. So guys, let's have this discussion in the comment section down below. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.